Hello everyone, this is Blender Guppy. In this video, I'm going to create a sci-fi building and then use random flow to create or bake the texture that I'm going to use as bump for the building. But first off, let me introduce to you Cookie, which is my constant companion in this video. And she's just there sitting on the floor or in this sofa waiting for me to uh, finish. Okay. All right. E. Let's do. I'm not going to use text tools this time to bake the texture. I'm just gonna use the good old cycles method. So if you don't know how to do it, you'll see how I will be doing it. You can just make a second one later. Let's use this one. Um, I actually saved the data so we can use it. It's like that. Let's just hide this. And black and white vertex color is a primary setup. I'm going to save this. And now we can bake the texture. So just using a simple plane. This will be our bake to mesh. And this will be this will create the bake from mesh. Okay, let's generate random topology. Actually, let's just use the um there we go. And so I'm going to bake three maps from this: the diffuse, the AO, and the bump. Hopefully it turns out. Well, let's make this later. There we go. Let's increase the topology right here, or resolution. This looks good. Alt H. And then in the bake 2 mesh, let's go. We're going to create a material for this. Let's name this bake 2 and create a new window. And I think UV editor. So 1024 map, just to make it lighter. And also we're going to just use JPEG. New, let's name this normal. Well, I'm not going to use bump. I'm actually going to use normal map. Okay. And then click on this icon, drag. Wait a minute. I'm not supposed to explain stuff because I explain really slow. Just watch my action. And then if you don't understand something, just use the comment section to ask me. Be sure to tag the time. Okay. Selected to active. Margin is pic, pic, pixels. I think it's pixels. Leave it at default for now. Big promoteress. Um, Selected to active. Big. Okay, this is our normal one. And don't save this. And JPEG. Okay, you can't see the save window because OBS cannot record the. Just gonna name this the normal one, JPEG save. Then Alt Pen AO, another one. Drag this one. Make sure this is highlighted. Ambient occlusion and let's try 16 samples. Bake. Can hardly see anything. Okay, let's try 10, 24 samples. F12. Oh, not F12. F12 is render. Bake. Just going to wait. Baking. Wait, did it bake? Bake. There we go. Oh, we can hardly see anything. But the detail is there. Maybe we should make it or forego. We can actually just forego the. Actually, let's try to 0.48. Bake. Bake again. Baking. Baked. Baking map saved enter. What? It's cutting out. Where's that? Okay, let's just save this. A01 JPEG. We can just use color ramp to intensify the values. And then next up is emit or diffuse. See, and the bake from mesh, we're going to create a material which is the emit shader, use emission, and then plug in the oh, sharp, mark sharp. Okay, 5 degrees. There we go. 0.8, and then assign the. Make sure you have node wrangler, so you have the attributes submenu here. Okay, create a new map and call it emit or diffuse. Alright, and drag this. Make sure it's highlighted, and then select emission from this emit. Let's just use 256 because it's just emission. Then we save as color 1 JPEG. Save as image. Okay. Now everything is saved. We have the color, the normal. In order for this to work, use non-color. Now we can get rid of this. Let's just hide it first. Make sure everything is working with the main model before we get rid of anything else. So I'm going to um, just use cube projection for this. Just a really quick way of, uh, especially with angular models, really quick way of UVing this and using procedural shading for this. You can also use Smart UV Project. And if you're using ingons, big faces that are ingons, you can use Light Map Pack. You can use Light Map Pack. There I am again. I'm overly explaining stuff. Can't help it. Too slow to explain stuff. Okay, that's the normal. Make sure that the images are sharing the same mapping. So if you modify the scale, all of their scales will be modified. Um, Color is RGB and AO. Multiply it to this color and multiply it here as well. The AO. AO. Let's control it with color ramp. Also the diffuse or the color. Okay, that is okay. I'm going to play around with the scale, fix the scaling, and other settings like the color ramp. Create a proxy ground. Going to try and apply the mirror and see if how the texture looks without symmetry. Um, UV map again. UV map it again using the cube option. There are two things you can do here. You can scale the UV, or you can use the mapping to scale the texture. Yeah, I think that's good. So we need a few more things to make this look good. We need a few windows, some lights, and a door. the material for this vertex color. Do not use vertex color. And then building out, change this to emission. Again with the screencast keys, if I'm too fast, just press the button or ask me in the comment section. I'm going to add another update to another option to partition mesh before the update, and that is to use manually marked edges to cut um, uh, the mesh or split the mesh into multiple parts. Partition mesh. Oops. Uh, Let's go back to optical. Just adding a additional details. And just get rid of this. We can no. If you partition, join it up and mirror this to the other sides and apply the mirror, project again, its color, mark sharp at 5 degrees. Oh my god, should have done that. Okay, we need a door and oh my god, I did it again. Should have wait, let's just make it asymmetric. And manually give this a different or a lighter. It's already go. Keep forgetting the steps. So let's give this a lighting, but I need symmetry on that. So going to duplicate this and hide the original, then reapply symmetry on the copy and use um, random cells, which is number, and the offset, make the infloater meshes, increase the subdivision, okay, to make the faces smaller. And we're going to use random here to see where the cells are. Okay, so what we're going to do is just be subtractive. The lights that we don't want, we're just going to delete the faces. Okay, delete this. Go back to so actually let's skip random. And for this, we're going to use the emission. Okay, go to edit mode and just brush. Select the faces that you don't want. So okay, so this represents the light, and the displacement is too strong. So let's just forget about that. You can actually just increase the strength of the normal map. It's okay. Uh, we're just going for the end look. We're going out of the meta or the usual stuff that or usual rules. We're going out of it. Okay, let's make this lighter. First save and a limited dissolve, and then Control T to triangulate. Let's see if the UV has been disturbed. Okay, no. And select the lights and this. Join them together using join objects. Let's see if it still works. Actually, the small this one is floater mesh. So we have to look at the maybe the okay. Make sure that these are on. For floater mesh, these are off. For normal mesh, this should be on. Okay, let's try rendering this in the distance that it's supposed to be rendered at. Camera to view. Focal is 100 and end is 500 meters, so it doesn't get clipped, or our floor doesn't get clipped if it becomes too far. Um, uh, wait, okay. So this is mid range. 90 degrees. Y X. Okay, let's make their origin into their foot. Set origin farthest Z vertex. So when we scale them, it goes like they always stick to the floor. Let's try a closer range to see if the fidelity of the detail can still be used at that distance. Yeah, but not too close because we used a randomizer to create the detail. Some of the details doesn't make sense in and for doesn't make sense or yeah doesn't make sense in closer ranges, but can still work on mid to far away. So this is what I can consider far away, like that. And this is mid-range. So they look pretty convincing in those distances. And if you drop it on your scene, and of course there'll be other stuff like if you have other stuff like streets, people, vegetation, uh, this can be a part of the spotlight or the main focus of your scene, part of it in the radius of the main focus of your scene, or you can just use it as a background asset. Okay, so I just want to show you how you can um, bake the textures using cycles. Okay, so what I did earlier was make sure that the image that you dragged on the bake to mesh is highlighted. So for example, color, when you dragged it to the material, make sure that it's highlighted. It's the only one that's highlighted in the nodes. Then you bake, make sure that the proper selection is proper selection sequence um, is used. So the bake from mesh, then the active should be the bake to mesh. Then toggle on the selected to active toggle. Then you can just select the bake options here or the bake tab. Then click on bake. So for normals and emission, you can just use lower samples. There's basically no noise for those textures. But for something like ambient occlusion and combined, also other stuff like roughness, it can be pretty noisy. Glossy also and diffuse when you use the yeah all this toggles here direct and direct. It can be pretty noisy. So to get rid of the noise, you have to use higher samples. Okay, so depending on your graphics card, the speed of which the bake will be done is depending on the size of the image and also the samples or the number of the samples in the render and the render tab, not the paper tab. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you have any questions, just the comment section below or the links in the description. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.